All right, welcome back to the show, everyone, and good morning to you. Hope you guys are having a good day so far. So, I had this request to check out this video, and I've been sitting on it for a couple of weeks at this point. This one's titled "The Truth About LeBron's Early Cavs Years," and I thought this would be interesting because it'll highlight everything that led up to like him running for the hills, essentially, and giving up. Because up until a certain point, his career was looking a whole lot like Jordan's early career in the 80s, where it was like, okay, you know, he has to build, slowly build, slowly build, slowly build, and eventually he's going to get over that hump. He already got to an NBA Finals, like it looked like it was right around the corner for him, but instead he went for the easy route. But let's check out what happened there, because there's a lot of weird narratives about him basically having zero help during his early Cavs years, which just isn't true. They went through a lot of players, a lot of lineups, multiple coaches. They tried a lot of things to make LeBron happy, but he just couldn't get it done. And hopefully this video highlights that. This is from a content creator I'm not familiar with. It's Derek Knows Ball. 1.16 thousand subscribers. So guys, if you're interested in this video after watching a bit and you guys want to go check out the channel, the link is down below in the description for you. You also see a list of channel members. Shout out channel members. I appreciate you all. Guys, it's going to be a little bit of a long one. It's about 35 minutes, so let's get right into it, okay? Like the vid, I'd appreciate it. And here we go.
Young LeBron James, strong, athletic, dominant, a near perfect player.
Can we rephrase? Can we learn how to use the word dominant again? He's not dominant if he wasn't winning. He wasn't winning yet, so he's not dominant. Jordan wasn't dominant in the 80s. He was dominant in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like, we can say he was athletic, he's young, whatever. Not dominant. That's for the winner.
At least, that's what it looked like. But what if I told you LeBron's first run in Cleveland wasn't as flawless as people remember? Sure, he was remarkable. He carried weak rosters, broke records, and took a team to the finals at just 22 years old. But time has a way of rewriting history. Today, we blame the Cavs, the front office, the teammates, the lack of help, but no one talks about LeBron's flaws. The truth is, he had bad games. He had playoff meltdowns. He came up short, and sometimes it was on him. This is the side of young LeBron no one talks about, until now.
Let's do it. just off that intro alone, I'm like, this is exactly what I was hoping for. Let's go.
The first pick in the 2003 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select LeBron James.
We all know LeBron was taken with the first overall pick in the 2003 NBA draft, and he entered the league with more hype than any player in NBA history. And from the very first game, he showed flashes of why. He dropped 25 points in his debut against the Sacramento Kings. And just like that, the Chosen One era had officially begun. But what people forget is, it wasn't all smooth sailing. Through his first 20 games, LeBron shot under 40% from the field. The Cavs started just 5-15, and while no one expected him to carry a broken franchise overnight, he had flaws that needed to be addressed. Yes, the talent was undeniable, but early on, LeBron had to adjust to the NBA game and the pressure that came with it. Despite the struggles, the media buzz never faded, and that buzz is what helped him stay ahead of Carmelo Anthony in the Rookie of the Year race. Even though on paper Melo had the better.
Thank you. Not only did he have the better season, he had the better record by far. He made the playoffs. LeBron didn't make the playoffs the first year, and I'm 99% sure he missed the playoffs the second year too.
Season. He averaged more points, led the Nuggets to the playoffs, and looked more polished overall. By the midpoint of the season, LeBron started figuring it out. His scoring became more efficient. He looked more comfortable, and the flashes of superstardom were coming more often. Still, the Cavs finished just 35-47 and missed the playoffs. LeBron ended the season as the Rookie of the Year, a well-deserved award, but one that came with help from the hype machine. Looking back, his rookie season proved one thing: LeBron was going to be great, but it wasn't a perfect beginning. He had real flaws and real growing pains that often don't get talked about today.
I mean, I agree so far, because the first season, all I could critique him on was his mental. In the fourth quarter, close games, he would crumble. And that was the only thing. Outside of that, I'm like, he's going to figure the rest of this out. His handles are going to improve. His jump shot's going to improve. All that stuff. I wasn't worried about it. What I was worried about was the choking thing. Like, I would see him shrink from day one in the crucial clutch time. And it's no wonder why he ended up being the way he is now. Because he never really got over it. But that was the last thing I thought. I thought for sure he was going to get over that. But outside of that, yeah, he looked like the sky's the freaking limit for this guy.
In year 2, LeBron James took a big leap, and he didn't waste any time proving it. Over his first 22 games of the season, LeBron averaged 25 points per game on over 50% shooting from the field.
Yeah,
the Cavs, who had started 5-15 the year before, were now 14-8 and looking like a team on the rise.
Damn, I probably watched that game. Was that on ESPN?
15 the year before,
yeah,
were now 14-8 and looking like
I guarantee you I watched this game. Yeah.
Team on the rise. And while people love to say LeBron had no help, it wasn't a G League roster. He had solid veterans around him like Zydrunas Ilgauskas and Drew Gooden, guys who, whether you respect it or not, put up numbers and had long NBA careers.
Yeah, Drew Gooden was fantastic.
Still, the season wasn't smooth. After that strong start, the Cavs hit a wall, going just 3-8 over an 11-game stretch. That skid was enough for the front office to make a move. Head coach Paul Silas, who had been brought in as a mentor for LeBron, was fired. In his place, the Cavs promoted assistant Brendan Malone to interim head coach. LeBron even admitted the vibe was off. He said, "You should like the video and subscribe to Derek Knows Ball."
Hey, I
no,
actually
he
did
didn't
already.
really say that.
I already did. I did it kind of covert because I didn't want to make a deal out of it, but actually, he got my subscription already. Like, this is a great start of a video. Let's go.
But come on, help me get to 1,000 subscribers.
Oh,
what he really said was,
now I'm curious. 11 days ago at this point, yeah, you done it, man. You're past 1,000. Good job.
You could kind of tell the way the air was, how things were going around here. There was going to have to be a change. At the time of the firing, Cleveland was 34-30 and still in the hunt for a playoff spot. But under Malone, the team finished just 8-10 in their final 18 games and once again missed the playoffs. Still, year 2 was a massive step forward for LeBron. He earned his first All-Star selection, made his first All-NBA team, and officially established himself as one of the league's brightest stars.
For sure.
But just like year 1, the season ended early, and once again, no playoff experience, no real progress in the...
They got close, huh? 42, and I can't read that, so they probably just had New Jersey probably had a tiebreaker. So they were close. They were on the brink, but yeah. No, first 2 years, no playoffs.
Postseason
is what it is.
For all of his individual greatness, the wins weren't there yet, and that in many ways would become a pattern. In year 3, the Cavs finally started acting like a franchise that wanted to win. They signed Larry Hughes, a proven scorer, coming off a 22-point per game season.
Yeah, this is something that people don't talk about enough. They had Larry freaking Hughes, man. But also, they couldn't make the playoffs until they got Larry Hughes, to be fair.
With the Wizards, and known across...
People talk about, like, oh, Jordan couldn't win without Pippen. Well, he was making the playoffs every damn year, wasn't he? Without Pippen? He got Pippen, and that's all he needed to win championships. You know what I mean? Different conversation. LeBron couldn't get into the playoffs without Larry Hughes. We're not talking about championships. We're talking about just getting the 8th seed in the playoffs.
The league.
And once again, I would never bring this stuff up if not for the fact that they throw this crap at Jordan all the time. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'll use the same stupid logic against you.
Elite perimeter defender. They also brought in Mike Brown, a hungry first-time head coach with a reputation as a defensive mastermind.
Still coaching to this day.
This was the first time since LeBron got drafted that Cleveland looked like they were trying to build something real. The season started off hot in Cleveland. After a 1-2 start, the Cavs rattled off 8 straight wins. During that run, LeBron averaged 28.1 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 4.3 assists. Larry Hughes was very solid too, putting up nearly 20 points and 5 assists per game. And the team as a whole looked like they were meshing well.
I mean, that's your Scottie Pippen right there. You got a 20-5 guy to be your co-star. That's it. You got it.
Their 28th game.
They had Gooden. They had what's his name? Shoot. Their center, I forgot right now off the top of my head. I want to say Ilgauskas, and I don't know why. That's anyways.
They were sitting at 18-10, the best stretch the franchise had seen.
I want to say
years.
Iggy.
But things took a turn fast. Hughes went down with a broken finger and missed a big chunk of the season. The Cavs started sliding, and it felt like LeBron would be back to carrying the team again. But here's the thing, people always act like it was just LeBron. In reality, guys like Zydrunas were stepping up.
Oh, it is Ilgauskas, that's why. Damn, man, I'm stupid sometimes. Let's keep going.
Averaging 17 points per game. Drew Gooden added 11 points and 9 rebounds. And under Mike Brown's system, the Cavs were playing elite defense. Yes, LeBron was the engine, but he had proven NBA players playing good basketball next to him. When Hughes did return, he wasn't quite the same player. But even with the injuries and inconsistencies, Cleveland finished 50-32, good enough for the third
seed. All right.
Seed in the East. LeBron was named first team All-NBA and finished second in MVP voting. In the first round against the Washington Wizards, LeBron was nothing short of spectacular. He averaged 35.7 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 5.7 assists. He was clearly the best player on the floor and carried Cleveland to a series win. To be fair, he did have some support. 5 other Cavs players averaged at least 8.8 points per game. And back in this era, that actually...
Let me just take a little look. It's been a long time for me. Points, okay. LeBron, great stat line. Great stat line here. Larry Hughes, your number 2, 12, 2, 4, 2.8 steals. Very nice. Playing 40 minutes. And how's your field goal percent? Ooh, his field goal percentage was really weak, though. So that's a detriment. LeBron was shooting great, 51%. We got 11 points coming in from Murray at a much better efficiency. Danielle Marshall, 10 points. Dude, this is a good start. This is a good lineup. Like, there's a lot of contributors. Iggy got your 10 too. And then Gooden's got 9. Dude, that's a lot of contribution. So if Larry Hughes goes out, that should be no big deal, tell you the truth. We got to make up for 12 points a game on low efficiency.
He meant something. But this was one of those cases where the term carried actually fits. LeBron was that guy. In round 2, the Cavs ran into the battle-tested Detroit Pistons, former champions with a loaded defensive core. James's numbers still look solid on paper, but this series exposed some of his flaws. In Game 4, for example, LeBron shot just 8 of 23 and turned the ball over 8 times. He finished with 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists, which sounds solid, but if you watch the game, you know he struggled. And still, despite this, the Cavs won. Why? Because their defense held Detroit to just 72 points. Cleveland managed to put up 74 and escape with a win. People forget that LeBron wasn't doing it all alone. This was a team built on defense with capable vets and a coach who knew how to get stops. But in Game 6, facing elimination, the Cavs completely collapsed. They scored just 61 points. LeBron, who had the ball in his hands every possession, couldn't generate enough offense. Yes, he was just 21, and yes, his supporting cast wasn't anywhere near elite. But when you're the guy, when everything runs through you, games like this matter. Their season was on the line, and he wasn't great. So
what's crazy to me is that on his 3rd year, they had built him a team that I would say is the equivalent of the Bulls in 1989. And he already had it. So he already had a good foundation. They're almost good enough to win. They just need to lose, figure it out, get back out there stronger, conquer. Like, they were right there. This is a good lineup.
Just like that, the Cavs were eliminated in 6 games. And while year 3 marked LeBron's first team All-NBA season and his first playoff series win, it also marked his first taste of real pressure. And the truth is, he came up short. Heading into year 4, Cleveland didn't shake up their roster much, but they didn't feel like they needed to. LeBron was now a full-blown star, and he was surrounded by solid, proven NBA vets. Drew Gooden, Zydrunas, Larry Hughes, and Eric Snow. Not flashy names, but experienced
Eric Snow, a veteran point guard as well.
Players who gave Cleveland a respectable foundation around their 22-year-old star. And the Cavs picked up right where they left off. Through the first 22 games, they went 14-8, with LeBron averaging 26, 7, and 7. But he wasn't doing it alone. Larry Hughes had multiple 25-point games early in the season. Anderson Varejao emerged as a tough energy big, and collectively, Cleveland's front court dominated the glass.
I always liked Varejao. I always liked Gooden. I always liked, what's his name, Larry Hughes.
Gooden, Big Z, Varejao combined for over 23 rebounds per game.
Nice.
And when you add LeBron's 6.7, the Cavs were the best rebounding team in the NBA during that stretch. Their winning formula? LeBron ran the offense, the bigs crashed the boards, and Mike Brown's system kept games gritty and defensive. By the end of the season, Cleveland finished with a 50-32 record. Good enough for the 2 seed.
It looks like the Pistons at number 1 at 53. I'm not sure why these are blurred out, but it looks like 53 and 29. They were close to having a number 1 seed. This is where this story gets interesting. At this point, they're a title contender, you guys. Okay, I gave them a pass in the previous year because, they're figuring it all out together and they're still young. Now they're not. Now's the time where this is the first opportunity. I say they had a real shot at winning a championship this year.
In the East, LeBron earned his 3rd All-NBA selection and was cementing his spot as one of the league's best. But again, the help he had is constantly downplayed. Cleveland finished 2nd in total rebounds and 1st in offensive rebounds league-wide.
Wow.
In the playoffs, round 1 was another matchup with the Wizards, but it wasn't the same team. Gilbert Arenas and Caron Butler were both out, meaning Cleveland was basically facing a lottery-level roster. Still, Antoine Jamison of the Wizards managed to average 32 and 10 in the series, but the Cavs swept Washington 4-0. Next up, the New Jersey Nets, a real test. Jason Kidd, Vince Carter, Richard Jefferson. Game 1 was ugly but gritty.
I forgot Mutombo was in there. Dang.
The Cavs won 81-77 behind LeBron's 21 points. But the unsung heroes were Cleveland's bigs. Gooden and Ilgauskas combined for 14 offensive rebounds. That's more than the entire Nets team had. In Game 2, LeBron dropped 36 and 12. Gooden added another double-double as they led Cleveland to another win. Game 3 was a loss for the Cavs, as LeBron struggled, shooting just 5 of 16. But in Game 4, he bounced back with 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. In Game 5 and 6, LeBron's efficiency dropped. He shot just 13 of 34 combined in those games. But the Cavs
13 of 34.
Managed to close out the series in 6 behind Donyell Marshall's 18 points off the bench and a team-wide defensive lockdown. Cleveland was now advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they were matched up against the Detroit Pistons. Detroit had ended Cleveland's season the year before, and this time, LeBron wanted revenge. But the series didn't start well. In Game 1, LeBron was held to just 10 points on 5 of 15 shooting. Big Z had 22 and 13, but the Cavs still lost, 79-76. Game 2 was a very similar story. It was another 79-76 loss, with LeBron going 7 of 19 and turning it over 6 times. Down 0-2, Cleveland returned home, and LeBron responded. He ended this game with 32, 9, and 9.
I gotta point out something simple.
Led the Cavs.
If Ben Wallace didn't leave, this lane would not be wide open like this, because I don't know if you guys are paying attention. This series, LeBron just taking it to the rack left and right.
To their first win of the series. In Game 4, LeBron had 25 points, 11 assists, and 7 boards. Boobie Gibson dropped 21 off the bench, and Gooden added 19. With the Cavs winning again, the series was now tied. But then came Game 5, one of the most iconic playoff performances ever.
I'll always praise this game. I'll always praise it. This was the moment for me where I'm like, I think he figured it out. I don't think he's gonna choke anymore. I think he might be a killer, and he just needed some time, because this was early on. What year is this? 07? Oh, I believe this is 07 right now. So he's been in the league for 3.5, 4 years. I thought, okay, he's got it. And I watched this live, and I was blown away. I'm like, this looks like freaking Jordan right now.
When LeBron scored the Cavs' final 25 points, including 29 of their last 30, willing them to a double overtime win in Detroit. He had 48 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, and completely took over.
Yep.
But let's not twist it. He didn't have to do that every night. He did it because he had to that night. In Game 6, LeBron came back to earth, shooting just 3 of 11. But guess who stepped up? Rookie Daniel "Booby" Gibson, who exploded for 31 points on 12 of 15 shooting.
Holy crap. Yeah, unsung hero.
5 of 5 from 3. Just like that,
5 for 5?
Cleveland was headed to the NBA Finals.
Wow.
LeBron was incredible, but the help was real too. Elite rebounding, timely role player scoring, and lockdown team defense. Yet all people
so credit where credit's due. LeBron gets the credit for Game 5. Gibson should get all the credit for Game 6 to seal the deal.
Remember about this series is how LeBron carried the team in Game 5.
Facts.
In the finals, reality hit hard. The Cavs were matched up against the Spurs, a dynasty in its prime. LeBron shot just 35% across the series, but let's be real, this series was never on him. Tim Duncan dominated Cleveland's bigs. Parker and Ginobili overwhelmed their guards. And Gibson, the rookie hero from last round, was neutralized by a far better backcourt. The Cavs got swept, and LeBron struggled, but they were simply outmatched. At this time, everyone knew that the better teams in the NBA were in the Western Conference.
And this is where you'd expect them to come back even stronger next year, right? Like, I gotta admit, even Jordan's first time in the NBA Finals in '91 against Magic's Lakers, I assumed he was gonna lose that first one because the experience level, you know? Same thing that was going on here with San Antonio. They had the experience, so I didn't think the Bulls, their first time in the Finals, they were gonna somehow beat the freaking Lakers, you know, like Magic Johnson and the Lakers, but it happened. But anyways, that being said, I expected LeBron and the Cavs to just double down, be stronger. You learn from your mistakes, figure out your weaknesses in the finals, work on those, and come back and win.
Reality is, whoever came out of the East wasn't going to be able to beat that Spurs team. Year 4 was still a massive success for LeBron. A finals appearance, a legendary performance in Game 5, and LeBron proving he could carry a team to the NBA's biggest stage. But he didn't do it alone.
Yeah.
And that's the truth people love to ignore.
I mean, at this point, I think LeBron has more help than the first three-peat Bulls right here. Starting from 07, that is.
Heading into the 2007-2008 season, expectations were sky high in Cleveland. They had just made the NBA Finals. LeBron had established himself as one of the league's top superstars, and the core was returning. They didn't have any major off-season additions, but the belief was that this core was ready to take the next step together. Instead, the Cavs started slow, really slow. Through the first 21 games, they were just 9-12. LeBron missed 5 games with a sprained finger, and the Cavs lost all 5.
I believe
and
it.
while his individual numbers were still elite, it was clear something wasn't clicking. By mid-season, the front office felt the pressure and decided it was time to shake things up. In a shocking 3-team trade with the Bulls and the Supersonics, the Cavs sent out Drew Gooden, Larry Hughes, Danielle Marshall, Cedric Simmons, and Shannon Brown. In return, they got back former 4-time Defensive Player of the Year Ben Wallace, ex-All-Star Wally Szczerbiak, and young guard Delonte West. On paper, it was a big move, but in reality, it was confusing. Wallace and
they lost a lot of offense there.
Szczerbiak were both well past their primes. Wallace could still rebound and defend at a pretty high level, but any offensive game he once had was now completely gone. Szczerbiak could shoot, but lacked some of the athleticism he used to have, especially on the defensive end.
Yeah.
Still, owner Dan Gilbert and GM Danny Ferry were all in on winning now, even if it meant sacrificing young assets. The trade did give LeBron a new supporting cast, but it didn't solve Cleveland's core issues. They still lacked a real second star, consistent scoring outside of LeBron, and a reliable offensive system. As the season rolled on,
It seems like they had about 3 guys who were fighting for the role of number 2. So actually, I would think that's like a surplus of support at that point. I don't agree with the owner's moves here, whether that was like LeBron's influence or if it was just Dan Gilbert himself. I would not blow up that core. We just made it to the finals. You need like 1 or 2 pieces, possibly, but you keep that core together and you build on that core.
the Cavs finished 45-37, a step back from the year before. LeBron again put up massive numbers, but the overall chemistry of the team was off. and the East had gotten better. Cleveland still made the playoffs, and that's where things would get even more complicated. The Cavs finished the regular season with the 4 seed in the East. That meant they had a familiar first-round opponent, the Washington Wizards. For the 3rd straight year, it was Cavs vs. Wizards, but just like the year before, Washington came into the series banged up. Gilbert Arenas, the Wizards' best player, had only played 13 games during the regular season due to injury. He was active for the playoffs, but came off the bench in Game 1. While the injury definitely didn't help, if we're being honest, even a fully healthy Arenas might have not changed the outcome. LeBron was completely dominant. He led both teams in scoring every single game of the series. Washington simply had no answers for him. Cleveland also won the battle on the boards, consistently controlling the glass and giving themselves more chances every night. This resulted in a 4-2 series win for Cleveland, another step forward for LeBron, another first-round exit for Washington,
yeah, that's an easy
and a
one.
rivalry that was turning out to be completely one-sided. In round 2 of the 2008 playoffs, Cleveland was now set to match up with a powerhouse, the 66-win Boston Celtics. That year, Boston had formed their Big Three with Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Kevin Garnett. They were the favorites to win it all, and Cleveland was supposed to be another step on their path to a title. But what unfolded was one of the most fascinating and misremembered playoff series of LeBron's early career.
All right, focus in.
To be blunt, Game 1 was brutal.
Focus in, and by the way, if you guys want to subscribe to this channel, this is actually, I'm actually pretty amazed with the quality of this video so far. A channel with 1,000 subscribers. Like, link is down below in the description, you guys, if you're interested. It's Derek Knows Ball.
LeBron shot just 2 for 18 from the field and had 10 turnovers.
Wait, let's go back. I was focused on Derek Knows Ball. Let's go back right here.
Series of LeBron's early career. To be blunt, Game 1 was brutal. LeBron shot just 2 for 18 from the field.
Okay. Yep.
And had 10 turnovers.
Damn. 2 for 10 from the field? Or wait, was that 2 for 18?
LeBron shot just 2 for 18.
Oof, 2 for 18, 1 out of 9. 1 out of 9.
From the field. And had 10 turnovers. Easily one of the worst playoff performances of his career, if not NBA history. And yet, the Cavs only lost by 4. The final score was 76-72, Celtics.
Wait, I want to see your support. Okay, yeah, LeBron. Well, okay, at least LeBron got 9 rebounds and 9 assists, right? A block and a steal. Okay, how was your support? Ilgauskas did great. Wally did great. Gibson, okay. I'm surprised. Wow, look at that score, 76-72. What a slugfest.
Celtics. In a game where LeBron was actually unplayable, Cleveland still had a chance to steal home court advantage. This is where the LeBron had no help narrative gets shaky. Because when your star has the worst game of his life, most teams get blown out. Cleveland's elite defense.
But that does throw out the whole narrative. How is it that they were still competitive while LeBron was crapping himself, basically?
And their deep physical supporting cast kept it close. Game 2 wasn't much better. LeBron shot just 6 of 24, and the Cavs
25%?
Lost 89-73. Through 2 games, he was shooting just 19% from the field.
Dang.
Yes, he was asked to carry the offense, but the truth is, he wasn't efficient, and it made life harder for everyone else.
I'll cut through it because I remember this one pretty clearly. He was exposed. It's same thing that San Antonio did to him in the finals. Let's just cut right through it. He didn't have a mid-range jumper yet, and he didn't have a deep ball game. So all they did was trap him every single time that he went into the lane. They trapped him, okay? Think about like what the Jordan rules were, except for they weren't hitting LeBron or throwing him on the ground. They just trapped him and made him feel uncomfortable. So he'd either force up a bad shot, turn the ball over by making a bad pass under pressure, or the more likely event was he was taking a really, honestly, it was wide open shots. He was taking wide open shots from the perimeter and from the deep mid-range level. And that was not his game. That was the weakest part of his game. So it was a great strategy, but that's why his shooting percentage is so low, is because the defense was pushing him to take shots that he's not good at. It was good strategies. So San Antonio did it successfully, swept them, and then Boston took that same strategy and were like, let's roll with this. And it worked.
Guys like Zydrunas Ilgauskas were producing. He was averaging 20 points on 50%.
The weird thing is to me, like, the easy solution at that situation is get the ball out of LeBron's hands. LeBron, you play off the ball. Give the point guard the ball. Let him run the offense. We're going to try to get you cutting to the basket, or backdoor looks, easy looks at the hoop, because the attention's not going to be all on you the entire time because you're not running the offense now. That's what I would have done to try to counter it. But, I mean, LeBron's still not playing off ball, except for a little bit when Luka was around.
Shooting across the first 2 games. Game 3 in Cleveland was a turning point. LeBron still wasn't efficient, shooting just 5 of 16, but the rest of the team stepped up in a major way. Delonte West scored 21, Wally Szczerbiak had 16, Joe Smith had 17, and Big Z added 12, 8, and 6.
Guys, these scoring numbers are huge. They're huge. These are low-scoring games.
Cavs blew Boston out, 108-84. In Game 4, LeBron improved slightly. He shot just 7 of 20, but dropped 21 points and dished out 13 assists. Again, his teammates carried their weight. West, Ilgauskas, and even Varejao were producing. And Cleveland's defense,
I like Varejao, dude. The guy hustled.
Locked in to win, 88-77. Through 4 games, LeBron was shooting just 25% for the series, and yet it was tied 2-2. That says something about the help around him.
For sure.
In Game 5, LeBron finally broke out. He dropped 35 points on 12 of 25 shooting. Delonte West added 21, but this time, the rest of the team didn't show up. It was one of those games where LeBron didn't get enough support, and the Cavs lost. Game 6. It's one of those games where LeBron didn't get enough support, and the
okay, great game. He was just a scorer that day. He was just a straight up scorer, 35 points. All right, you got 21 points here. Wally gave you 10. Yeah, okay, fair enough. And oof, look at Rondo in here, man. Yeah, the Big Four showed up for Boston that day.
Cavs lost. Game 6, back in Cleveland, was another strong performance. 32 points.
One other thing I used to like doing during this era. Look at Big Baby's numbers versus KG's numbers. Look at his 16 rebounds to Big Baby's 1.
The Cavs lost. Game 6, back in Cleveland, was another strong performance. 32 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. He still had 8 turnovers and shot under 40%, but the defense carried again, holding Boston to just 69 points. Gibson, West, and others filled their roles, and the Cavs forced Game 7. And in that Game 7, LeBron was spectacular. He dropped 45 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists in one of the best Game 7 performances of his career and in NBA history. His next highest scorer was Delonte West with 15. On Boston's side, Paul Pierce dropped 41 and Garnett chipped in 13. The Celtics made just a few more plays late and escaped with a 97-92 win. When people talk about this series, they only remember Game 5 and Game 7, the 2 games where LeBron played at an NBA superstar level and didn't get enough help around him. But what no one talks about are Games 1 through 4, where LeBron was ice cold, shooting in the 20% range, and his teammates kept them alive. In multiple games...
It's funny, for me, I always just remember the full series numbers, the averages.
Cleveland's defense and role players carried enough weight to win, and did win. If LeBron even plays average in Game 1, the Cavs most likely steal a road game and win the series, but he didn't, and that matters. He was only 23 years old, and yes, he was already one of the best players in the world, but this series proved that he still had real flaws. He was inconsistent, his shot was unreliable, and he wasn't the best version of LeBron that would come later. This was the harsh reality of his Cleveland years.
I mean, I believe at this point, the Cavs were one LeBron, like, how do I want to word this? LeBron was a jump shot away from winning a championship at this point. I really believe it. The team had what he needed. He had what he needed. All he needed was a good jump shot. And then the whole defensive strategy would have fallen apart for Boston, and they would have had to play him honestly. They would have had to step up and play close on him, preventing him from taking wide open jumpers. But first you have to make the jumpers. And he didn't have that in his game. So if he would have had that in his game, I think that's it. Plus, try to play off ball, which if you're a jump shooter, then it's perfect to play off ball because you can catch and shoot, a la Steph Curry, all these guys.
Greatness mixed with growth, dominance mixed with disappointing moments. And if we're going to talk about his brilliance, we have to talk about his flaws too. Heading into the 2008-2009 season, the Cavaliers knew they had to make a move. LeBron had the defensive support around him, but what he really needed was a consistent second scorer. That offseason, the Cavs made it happen. They sent out role players Joe Smith and Damon Jones and brought in Mo Williams, a 25-year-old combo guard coming off a 17-point per game season. Williams could score efficiently, create for others, and gave the Cavs something they hadn't had, a true second option next to LeBron. And best of all, they didn't lose any key pieces to make it happen. The Cavs started the season 1-2, but after that, they caught fire. They went on a tear, winning 25 of their next 27 games. During that stretch, Cleveland's defense held teams to under 89 points per game in a league where the average team was scoring 100. That wasn't just good, it was historically elite. LeBron was the engine behind everything, putting up 28 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists a night. But he wasn't doing it alone. Mo Williams chipped in 16.5 points, Zydrunas Ilgauskas averaged 13.7 points, Delonte West added 12.7 points. Anderson Varejao contributed 9.6 points and 7.2 rebounds. Nice. Even guys like Boobie Gibson and Ben Wallace were filling in key minutes and playing high-level defense. Were the supporting numbers mind-blowing? No. But when you're holding teams under 90 points, having 4 to 5 guys scoring in double figures made Cleveland stack.
It's a dream come true. That's what you want. A whole team that is putting in the effort. It's not like a like 230-point per game scores and nobody else is contributing anything. You got the whole team contributing. That takes the pressure off of you as a star.
The Cavs didn't slow down either. They finished the season 66-16.
Yeah, okay, so number one seed. No excuse. 66 wins, okay? The most of all time is 73 wins in a regular season. So at this point, what's the excuse for not winning? What is it?
The best record in the entire NBA.
So they're favored to win. They're let's just play it back real quick.
In 66-16, the best record in the entire NBA.
Yeah, so I don't want to hear, you didn't have enough help, blah, blah, blah. No, this was the time to win.
They were the best defensive team in the league, the second best three-point shooting team in the league, one of the best rebounding teams in the league. LeBron won the MVP at the conclusion of the season, and it was well-deserved. It was his first MVP award, and by the end of the year, he and Kobe Bryant were seen as the 2 best players in the world. LeBron was only 24 years old, but everyone knew he wasn't just a great young player, he was a future legend. In the playoffs, Cleveland looked unstoppable. In the first round, they faced a broken Detroit Pistons team, a roster that had traded away Chauncey Billups for an injured Allen Iverson.
Oh, yeah.
Allen Iverson missed most of the second half of the season.
No, guys, at this point, this is not the 04 Pistons anymore. Like, not even close.
Injuries. And to be honest, the Pistons weren't a real playoff team anymore. Cleveland swept Detroit easily, holding them to under 85 points every game. LeBron averaged 32 points and simply was too much for them to handle. In the second round, the Cavs matched up with the 47-win Atlanta Hawks, a young team with some talent, but no real chance. Again, Cleveland's defense smothered them, holding the Hawks to under 80 points a game and swept them 4-0. In the first
held them to 80 a game.
Rounds, the Cavs allowed opponents to score 90 points 0 times across 8 games, and they held teams to under 80 points 4 different times. It was a joke. The Cavs weren't just winning, they were dismantling teams. And honestly, LeBron was dominant, but there wasn't too much pressure on him. If he got Cleveland to 85 points, it was game over. But in the Eastern Conference Finals, everything changed. The Orlando Magic exploded for 107 points in Game 1, stealing a 107-106 win on Cleveland's home floor. LeBron had a complete masterclass, 49 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 20 for 30 shooting. It was almost superhuman, and it still wasn't enough. In Game 2, LeBron kept attacking. He had 36 points, and Cleveland squeaked out a win thanks to a game-winning buzzer beater. This shot was one of the most iconic moments of his career, and through 2 games it was clear LeBron was the best player on the floor. But the Magic had more weapons, more depth, and they were the first team
it's funny, these moments were really celebrated back when he was still a Cleveland Cavalier the first time. These were big time, big celebrated playoff moments because we thought he was building towards something.
Truly challenged Cleveland's defense. Game 3 was in Orlando, and Cleveland's defense again crumbled. They slowed the Magic down in the first half, holding them to 41 points, but gave up 57 in the second. LeBron dropped 41, but it wasn't enough. The big picture, the Cavs weren't shooting the ball well from deep, just 26% from 3
Good
as
block,
a team,
man.
and they weren't giving LeBron the support they had given him all season. Game 4 was the same story as Game 3, but even worse. The Magic scored 114 points, and Cleveland shot under 30% from 3. LeBron was sensational again, 44 points, but he was rather inefficient and had 8 turnovers. But in his defense, he was Cleveland's entire offense. After that game, the Cavs were down 3-1, facing elimination in Game 5. Finally, LeBron's teammates stepped up. Mo Williams went 6 of 9 from 3.
Nice.
Boobie Gibson went 3 of 4 from 3. LeBron put up a 37-point triple-double, and Cleveland stole a 112-102 win to stay alive. Through 5 games, LeBron had been historic. 41 points per game, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. He was doing everything humanly possible to drag Cleveland to wins in this series. Game 6 was back in Orlando, and for the first time in the series, LeBron came back to earth. He still had 25 points and played fine, but he shot just 40% from the field. Meanwhile, Dwight Howard dominated. He had 40 points, 14 rebounds, and the Magic closed the series out. The Cavs just couldn't get stops when they needed them. Their winning formula all year was defense plus spacing, but they collapsed against Orlando's firepower. And just like that, Year 6 was over. LeBron put together one of the greatest playoff series of all time, but it wasn't enough. And while people today write it off as LeBron had no help, the truth is more complicated. The Cavs were a great regular season team. They were built to defend and shoot around LeBron, but against the wrong matchup, when their defense couldn't hold up and their shooters couldn't hit shots, everything fell apart. Their margin for error was razor thin.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, they're constructed to keep teams around 80 to 90 points a game. And so if they're giving up 100 points a game to the Orlando Magic, everyone's got to step out of offensive roles they're not comfortable with at that point, and they got to up their scoring production.
LeBron's heroics made it close, but it wasn't enough, and that harsh reality would define this playoff series for Cleveland.
But we always still say to this day, defense wins championships. This is what we mean.
After the heartbreaking loss to the Magic in 2009, the Cavaliers knew they had to build a better team around LeBron to keep him happy. This was the final year of his contract. Cleveland was willing to do whatever it took to keep the greatest player in their franchise's history. That led to a major move. They traded away Ben Wallace, Sasha Pavlovich, and a second-round pick to acquire a 37-year-old Shaquille O'Neal from the
Yes,
Suns.
sir.
Shaq was at the tail end of his career, but he had just averaged 18 points and 8 rebounds while leading the league in field goal percentage.
Yeah, he was doing that in Phoenix, too. He played actually really good in Phoenix. I got to say, I always get mad at Steve Kerr. He was our GM at the time, for getting rid of Sean Marion and I forgot what else we gave up to get Shaq and a run and gun team. It made no sense to me. But the truth is, Shaq didn't fit in, but he played great. He was playing better. He was mad at the way he got traded out of Miami, and he actually came back really strong for a little while there, for about 2 years.
Wasn't prime Shaq. The Cavs believed he could be the answer if they again ran into Dwight Howard in the playoffs. They also signed Anthony Parker, a 3-and-D wing who had averaged 12 points per game and shot over 42% from 3 during his final 3 seasons with Toronto. Whether people acknowledge it or not, the Cavaliers' front office was working hard.
Yeah.
They weren't just sitting back hoping LeBron would carry them.
No, they kept trying new things, and then it wouldn't work, so they'd find a weakness and go, okay, let's give LeBron this, let's give LeBron that, and let's see if eventually he can win.
We're actively trying to make upgrades, Some fans today argue about the exact moves they did make, but no one can deny that Cleveland was working hard to keep LeBron happy. The 2009-2010 season started strong for the Cavs. After 20 games, they were 15-5. Shaq missed some games due to injury, but still did show flashes of dominance when he was on the court. And LeBron, like always, was playing at another level. After about 2/3 of the season, the Cavs stood at 43-11. They had put together a 13-game win streak, holding opponents to under 89 points per game. During that stretch, LeBron's teammates were stepping up. Shaq averaged 15 points and 6 rebounds on 63% shooting. Anderson Varejao was averaging 9 points, 7 rebounds, and was in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. Mo Williams added 14 points and 6 assists, while shooting 43% from
and
three.
He provided the team as being the closer. He took a lot of those game-winning shots.
Kobe Gibson chipped in 11 points per game, shooting a ridiculous 48% from three. 21-year-old J.J. Hickston averaged 12 points and 6.5 rebounds in that stretch. On top of that, Cleveland had experienced vets like Big Z, Anthony Parker, and Delonte West. This wasn't a terrible roster by any stretch. They had 7 different guys who could give you 15 to 20 points on any given night, plus elite defense and efficiency across the board. And LeBron, he was a monster, averaging 30 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists over the first 54 games.
I miss this version of LeBron, you guys. This is when I was a fan. Like, he did play his ass off in those early years. He tried, at least. I just wish he worked on those weaknesses. Like I said, so many years. There's a jump shot away from being a champion.
Success wasn't solely on his shoulders. Everything looked like it was falling into place, and it got even better. Cleveland traded longtime vet Zydrunas Ilgauskas and a first-round pick to acquire Antawn Jamison, a Wizard star who was averaging 19 points and 8 rebounds per game.
That same guy who was averaging 31 points a game against the Cavs in the playoffs.
Did hurt losing Big Z, but it was a big roster upgrade heading into the final stretch of the season. Unfortunately, soon after the trade, Shaq sprained his right thumb, forcing him to miss the remainder of the regular season. The silver lining was that after being traded, Big Z's contract was bought out by the Washington Wizards, and he chose to return to Cleveland to end the season, saying he couldn't forgive himself if they won a title without him.
Oh, wow.
The Cavs finished the regular season.
Okay, so once again, best in the East.
61-21, the best record in the NBA for the second straight year.
In the entire NBA. All right? So again, you're favored. You're favored to win.
LeBron was again named MVP, becoming a
You got the best player in the league, MVP. You got the best record in the league, so you have the best team in the league. You're favored to win. There's no excuse at this point. There's no, I didn't have enough help, because you had plenty of help in the regular season, right? So you can't say that if you choke in the playoffs and you lose then. It doesn't work.
MVP at just 25 years old. Going into the playoffs, Cleveland was healthy, loaded, and the clear 1 seed. In the first round, the Cavs faced a young Chicago Bulls team with a seemingly bright future, led by Derrick Rose, Luol Deng, and Joakim Noah, all 24 years old or younger. The Bulls had promise, but they weren't ready for playoff basketball yet. LeBron had high level, but not insane performances early. Game 1, he had 24 points on 9 for 19 shooting, and the Cavs won 96-83.
Just out of curiosity. Damn, look at Derrick Rose already. Oh, man. Noah, Luol Deng, okay. LeBron shooting about 40-some-odd%, high 40s, doing good. Mo is getting you 8 for 14, 19 points, man. 10 assists, and wow. Dude, even pulling in 4 rebounds. Jamison shooting 50%, 15 and 10. Shaq getting you 12 and 5 and 4 assists. Surprising. 5 and 9 shooting, so shooting great.
To 83. In games 2 through 4, LeBron was dominant, dropping 40, 39, and then 37 points. The Cavs won 2 of those 3 games to take a 3-1 series lead. In Game 5, LeBron had a quieter performance. He ended with just 19 points, but he did nearly have a triple-double. His teammates ended up stepping up this game. Antawn Jamison dropped 25. Shaq added 14 and 8. Delonte West chipped in 16. Cleveland won 96-94.
Yeah, man, D Rose played even better that. Okay, so that was the elimination game. Shaq with 14, 7 of 9, 8 rebounds. He's producing still. Delonte chipped in a lot there. LeBron actually got outscored by Jamison because LeBron was actually kind of struggling a little bit from the field. But he did get 10 rebounds and 9 assists. Good team win. Good team win. Solid team. See, LeBron steps down for one game, and the rest of the team can still lift him up. That's a championship team.
2, they had a familiar opponent, the Boston Celtics. Their last playoff battle in 2008 had been an all-time classic, a 7-game war. So fans were hyped for the rematch. But weirdly, that wasn't even the biggest story. In early May 2010, a shocking rumor broke. Delonte West was allegedly involved in a sexual relationship with LeBron's mother, Gloria James. There's still debate about whether it's true, but one thing is certain, it didn't help Cleveland's locker room chemistry at all. Despite the noise, LeBron came out strong in Game 1, dropping 35 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists in a big Cavs win. But Game 2 was rough. LeBron played solid overall, shooting 7 of 15 with 24 points, but had 5 turnovers. And truly, Cleveland couldn't keep up with the Celtics, losing 104-86. In Game 3, LeBron couldn't keep up with the Celtics, losing 104.
Shaq struggled there. 9 points, 4 for 10, 4 rebounds and an assist.
To 86. In Game 3, LeBron responded in a big way. He dropped 38 points on 14 of 22 shooting with 8 rebounds and 7 assists. The Cavs blew Boston out, 124-95, taking a commanding 2-1 series lead. It looked like Cleveland had complete control of the series, but then everything fell apart. In Game 4, LeBron shot just 7 of 18, had 7 turnovers, and only 9 points in the second half. The Cavs lost by 10, and suddenly the series was tied 2-2. In Game 5, back home in Cleveland, LeBron completely no-showed, shooting 3 of 14 from the field. The Cavs got blown out, 120-88. The crowd was stunned, and now Cleveland faced elimination. In Game 6, LeBron bounced back statistically. He had 27 points, 19 rebounds, and 10 assists. Mo Williams chipped in 22 points, but no one else stepped up. Outside of LeBron and Mo, the Cavs couldn't buy a bucket. They scored just 85 points total. The Celtics closed it out 94-85. And just like that, the season and an era was over. LeBron walked off the court, taking off his Cavaliers jersey and leaving the fans with the question, will we ever see LeBron in a Cavs jersey again? That summer, he hosted The Decision, announcing live on TV that he was leaving Cleveland to join Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami. It crushed Cleveland fans, but just like that, LeBron's first stint with the Cavaliers was finished. The story of LeBron's early Cav years is complex. Yes, he was special, putting up some of the greatest basketball we've ever seen, but he was human too. There were flaws in his game, flaws that showed up, especially against elite playoff defenses. Sometimes his supporting cast didn't step up, sometimes he didn't step up, and while he often dodged blame at the time, the truth is that it was a little bit of everything. We again saw it in the 2011 finals with Miami. LeBron at times wasn't ready himself to take that next step and be a champion. But the early failures in Cleveland are what shaped him. They helped him grow, helped him harden, and pushed him toward the dominant playoff killer he would eventually become. LeBron is the most polarizing player in NBA history because there are two sides to every story, and his first Cleveland chapter proves it.
That's it right there. Wow. What a great video. What a great video. I'm actually, I'll just say it one more time. Link is down below for the original video. If you guys want to go over there and check out the channel, I'm curious what else. See, I already forgot the name. Derek Knows Ball. I'm curious what else is in store with this channel. I felt like it was very fair assessments. All I want to say is, guys, he had multiple years of opportunities to really win. Like where it was, I would say for Jordan's Bulls, the first year that the window was really open was the 89-90 season, where they almost got over the hump with Detroit, but they didn't quite get over the hump. At that stage, there's no excuse. Your team is good enough to accomplish the job. They didn't get it done, but then they regrouped and they got it done the following season. And I felt like LeBron was there after like the third year. in Cleveland. You know, he had enough pieces, enough help to figure it out, but LeBron needed to work on his weaknesses, and he needed to figure out a way to like get that jump shot just rolling, you know, and he was never able to do it. And it's still weird to me this day because, like, you know, I saw Jordan and Kobe go through their career transitions where they realized I can't just drive to the basket every play. Like, I can't have the ball in my hand all the time. Sometimes I need to get on the block, get in the post. That way I'm catching the ball in a good position, and then I can do what I need to do. I always waited for LeBron to hit that point of his career, but it never happened. And I feel like they could have won multiple championships, at least one, but I think multiple in Cleveland. He never would have had to leave, you know, but then he was finding players to basically fill in the gaps of his weaknesses, and he's been doing that mentality ever since, and he still is to this very day. But yeah, if he would have just gotten off the ball, let the point guard play point guard, you know, post up a little bit, because he's a giant dude, man, 6'9", you know, buffer than 90% of the league out there, physically strong. Get in the block, post up, you know, play that kind of a game, and he likes to pass. Dude, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird did 90% of their passing. Well, Magic did half his passing on a run and gun, but the other half, he had his back facing the basket. He was posting. Larry Bird got like 90% of his assists in the post, and Michael Jordan as well. So I was always confused, and I always will be confused. Why not just work on those weaknesses? You're just so a hair away from being a champion. Just do it. Work on it all off season. Anyways, you guys, I'm out of here. The whole point of this video, though, is just to show that, yeah, they had opportunities. He had many opportunities. He didn't win until he stacked the deck in Miami, because that is at the point where they were so overpowered, but then they still lost 2 out of 4. So go figure. Guys, I'm out of here. Yeah, that's it. It's so funny. It's so hard for me because, like, they stacked the deck so hard in Miami and they still lost 2 out of 4. Anyways, you guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. I'll see you in the comments, all right? Shout out to members. Like the vid if you liked it. Dislike it twice if you didn't. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. And most importantly, be water, my friends.